Okay, Iwrocker over there in Illinois. This is what I do. This is what I do. Railway bridge inspections. In the middle of nowhere. Get ready for it. This is going to blow your socks off.
You're not going to believe where I'm standing. This here is floodwater. See this here? All this here by flood. Look, there's a little white car.
That's a railway line.
Nobody can guess where I am yet. That's a railway line. What? Yeah, that's a railway line. This here's railway line.
Now check this beautiful great big bridge out, mate. You would never see anything like this unless you come out to Australia and you travel around with me, because I'm the guy who goes out and finds all these things.
Look, it's so wet.
It just flooded.
I slid down here through all the mud. It was great.
Look at that big, beautiful sand. Hand-kiln bricks made back in 1886. This is just up the road from my railway museum.
Queen's Crown Head Bridge. And this is built back in 1886. 1886. And all these bricks were hand-kilned all around here. Now, I'm showing you.
Now look at that workmanship of that brickwork. They put lips and collars on it. They put tops on the top of the sandstone, right up the very top. You watch the video. This has never been seen by the public. This is on the other side from the main highway. You can't see it, right? This is something you would never ever see if you come out here to Australia. Not even the locals get to see this, because you had to be certified bridge engineer. So it's called the Queen's Crown Head Bridge.
Yeah, I inspected that bridge back in 1995. I had to walk up there. I'm not keen on doing it anymore, especially doing it now by myself.
Because now I've got two buggered knees. I can't do it anymore. Now look at that. Look at that beautiful sandstone tabletop on the top of those bricks. Look, these are all handmade bricks.
You'll never see anything like this again in your life. This is a disused railway bridge.
This is 20 kilometres south of the Queensland border of Wallangarra and Jennings on the New England Highway. It's about 800 and something kilometres from Sydney.
One of a kind. See all this dirt?
That's ballast.
So this is floodwater. I'll stand back. Hang on.
Anyway.
Back the other way. Show you.
This is what I do. Bridge inspections out in the middle of nowhere. Brown snakes, red-bellied black snakes, funnel web spiders, you name it. I could get bitten and nobody knows where I am.
That's on the right. All this.
Right. That's that one there. You want to look it up? There it is there. Now this is crazy driving. Now, you're going to get a laugh out of you, see this. I drive that little white Hyundai up onto a platform. Here it is. In World War II, the Australian troops transshipped from the New South Wales gauge into the Queensland gauge, and that's that building right down there. See that? Hang on, I'll stop it when I get that. That little building there is where the troops transshipped, and they never come back to Australia. That's right, they never come home. See, that's the video. Go down and watch it. Crazy driving, Wallangarra, Queensland, Jennings, New South Wales, Triangle Border Lines, New England Highway, right?
That's the Queensland gauge. Right. That's New South Wales gauge.
See?
And New
You're-
South Wales, New South Wales.
See? New South Wales gauge. And then as I go further, it comes back to Queensland gauge. Because Queensland is 3'6.5", New South Wales is 4'6", 4'8.5". Queensland is 3'6" gauge. Right? Now this is right up, this there is New South Wales. If I turn the camera around, I'll be looking into Queensland. That's where I am. I'm right on the border. See? There's a Queensland gauge.
So under 1, 2, 3 of them.
3 Queensland tracks.
Right, now this is New South Wales.
Right, now.
There.
See that big concrete barricade? That was used for the coronavirus. That's how they blocked the road off so people from Queensland and New South Wales couldn't get into Queensland. They pushed them right there onto that bit of road because that's New South Wales. And on this side behind the camera is Queensland. That's exactly where you are on that road at Wallangarra train station. You can go and look it up.
The barricades they had up there for the coronavirus, they blocked off the road so people couldn't get into New South Wales.
See, there's a Jennings
Now,
Hotel.
there's Jennings Hotel. Hotel Jennings.
Right, that's New South Wales. You can actually buy kangaroo meat. Yes, you can actually have a kangaroo meat.
So that's New South Wales. As I said, the line.
Now, when you see the red building, that's the railway station, that's Queensland. The fence on the left is the Queensland border.
Is over there on the station.
That's Queensland border, that wire fence.
This road here turns into Border Street.
So you go and have a look at it.
See, when you come around here,
see, there's the border.
The border, there's a fence there.
That's the actual border. That's all the border is. It's just a picket fence, just a wire fence. Right, okay, let's get off that one. Now this one, 622, was a train that my father used to drive, and I started up the Tenterfield Railway Museum. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause this and I'm going to come back and you're going to see my name on a diagram that was hand-drawn in 1886. And everybody couldn't find it. The local members of parliament, the state government couldn't find it, the federal government couldn't find it, the local city councils couldn't find it, Armidale City Council, Tamworth City Council, Guyra City Council, Tenterfield Council couldn't find it, Sydney City Council couldn't find it, the State Rail couldn't find it. Nobody could find it. The New South Wales government railways could not even find this diagram because I had it in 1886. So that's Ian, that's his name. So I'll pause you. Right, now I've got this queued up. This is the yard in my museum that I started. Right? I had donated tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars through the backhand. They don't know where it come from. They didn't know it was me. Now what's this?
One guy done a YouTube. He's sitting over there on that thing over there playing a guitar. I don't know what you're singing about. I'll take it to you.
Now this is before I learned to turn the camera
Over
around.
there caught fire.
All that there was burnt out.
There we go.
Over there with the bushfires.
So we're on the far western side of Tenterfield.
Now this is the big beautiful Tenterfield train station. This was in rack and ruin when I went up there in 1995. There was holes in the platform, holes in the ceiling, holes in the roof. It had been closed since 1980. So for 15 years nobody looked after it. Now look what it's got.
I remember the platform gardens, many rail vehicles.
Now, here we go inside. Old little coal wheelbarrow. There's a map. This shows Tenterfield, right up the top of the state. Now you watch. This guy does not know who I am, right? He has no idea who I am until I prove it.
G'day, stranger. You don't know me, do you? You really don't. You want me to show you? My name's on the wall.
My name's on the wall. Do you want me to show you? You heard me say it.
You don't
Right,
know
let's
me.
go. Let's
That's
watch.
what you're a voluntary. And it doesn't know who I am. Are you a volunteer too? Oh, he's a cut. All right. Well, you want to come and have a look and I'll show you a bit of history. Yeah? No, hey, can I show you something? What's this?
This is 1886.
This is a great big long, beautiful old diagram. That's it there.
1886 hand drawn.
That's me. Well, I'm one of the original founding fathers. That's me. That's you. How's that for a surprise? You met the man that found that, and that was sitting in my office, and I'll tell you the story behind it. I had all these guys up here.
See, there's my name there, little white tag on it.
He said,
little
I'm
white
trying to
tag.
find the original diagram of Tenterfield Railway Station. And they said, we can't find it. Because how long is the station from bridge to bridge? 1 mile? Oh, no. From bridge to bridge, this way. Yeah, no. It's over a mile. It's on the diagram. Right. Right. And then if you look up there in the top hand corner of the diagram, it says 1886. And it's sitting in my office. Now, I wish I could see up there. I didn't bring my glasses in. This is, I don't know where
Here it
they got
comes.
this from.
There's my
That's
name,
That's a
look.
blue, sketchy one. You see, all my friends at home. That's me, Mr. Hominoid.
Mr. Hominoid, there you go.
Yeah, somebody did that, and I didn't approve of that. They got the red text, the red pencil, and they've actually got that upside down.
They've actually put the diagram upside down, the silly bastards.
Because that's saying Queensland's that way, Queensland's this way.
It should be on the other side of the room. It should be over that
That should be
side.
up over there. But see, they draw it upside down.
Or turned around the wrong way, it should be saying.
So somewhere just up there,
You watch this. You watch what I do. Look, I helped start this museum, mate.
And
Here it is. Look, watch. Here we go.
Glen Evans to Tenterfield, station arrangement, Tenterfields, New South Wales. Oh, look at it. Look at it. Yeah, anyway.
No, I'm looking for the date. It's anyway, it says 1886. It was in, I think it was March.
Okay, so here's the diagram. Zoom it out. I'm standing up on the thing.
That's all hand
There.
drawn.
That's a bridge up the other end.
It's all the tracks, all the points, every single tree, everything.
This is where they point the red line here, which somebody put in there, which I
Pencil.
didn't want them to do that, but they did it. And this is hand drawn. And it's written on there somewhere.
Here it is. There it is.
86. There it is. Right there.
There it is. Where is it?
What does it say?
8
8286.
8286.
8th of February.
8th of February, 1886.
There you go. You can see that for yourself.
There it is there.
Okay.
Oh, just
And
missed
this
it.
is the only copy left in it.
This is the only copy. The original got stolen, and this is the only copy. There it is there. Look, Tenterfield. Now, what is famous about Tenterfield? That's where Peter Allen come from. I call Australia home, Tenterfield. Peter Allen. Anyway, so you can go down and watch that whenever you want. Look, I can show you things about World War II, building the Putty Road. I can show you things. What's how much I get around?
Construction,
Look.
1940. Now it's on New South Wales roads, 46,000 views 5 years ago.
Okay, now, you see Putty Road. Now, you remember, now you go and watch David Pilates 411, and 3 weeks ago from the beginning of this tape, mid-October 2021, mid-September, a little 3-year-old boy disappeared, got lost on his farm up at Putty on the Putty Road. And this is the road where this kid got lost. He is in the middle of nowhere. And it's on David Pilates. And he shows the Yango National Park to the right of the Putty Road, but the kid actually lived on the left-hand side, which is the western side, down the dead-end roads. And I've actually got a video. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to skip through this. And this road was built for the troops in World War II because there was no real rail service. Now, what's this? That's a bulldozer knocking rocks down
There's the Colo River, look.
There's the Colo River. I know exactly where that is.
You watch, you'll see the river, right?
Right? Now, you watch who comes around the corner. Right at the end of the video.
Down that way, hay and whatever, anyway. Me being a cab driver. Yeah, anyway, so you're going to get...
Hang on, where is it? This might be it.
You watch, you'll see the river, right up here.
97 miles in 61 days.
I love finding this old stuff. It's good stuff.
This is the old Putty Road. You go and look it up, Putty.
Department of Mains Road, 309 Castle.
Where is it? This might be it. You see all the World War II diggers walking down from Singleton, northern New South, from the Hunter Valley, and they're walking down to walking down to Sydney. Look, he's right on the edge of a cliff. Look at the cliff. Look,
they're orange trees.
They're orange trees, way down the bottom of the river. Look, that's about a 3,000 drop.
Look, he's right
and he's right on the edge.
Look, there's all the fruit trees. Look.
Anyway, let's see what else I can find you, Ian. Now, this is me walking into my father's old train, and I helped get my father's train taken from Thirlmere, south of Sydney by about 100 kilometres, to the 800 kilometres north of Sydney. So it's 900 kilometres, freighted up there by truck and put in the museum. And this is the train I used to drive as a kid with my father.
Right, there's your fire extinguisher. And this here was your security camera. What's a good security camera? That there was your breakdown kit.
See, I even know what it all was.
Right from here, I'll show you something. Now, for Alec Crass at North Richmond. Alec Crass was a train guard.
Alec Crass, yeah, he's still alive.
Alex, your seat is still there.
He brought that in one day because the seat wasn't comfortable, so he put that in 622, the train.
Alec Crass is still alive, actually. Right, this is how we used to start.
Now, this is where I used to drive the train. This is the train I used to drive when I was 10 years old.
So you get your brake, and you have to put it in, flip it in, right? And then down here, you have a cock.
An air valve. That's gone. Somebody's taken it.
There's a tap down there.
Somebody's taken it away because they salvaged it for another train.
Tap. And that was, this one here was, right?
That's your horn.
See, you've got idle, transmission idle, 1/3 throttle, 2/3 throttle, full throttle. And you push the button in. And you go like that.
You can't do that because you need a driver's key.
But you needed a key to put it out of off into reverse or forward. Right? Then, how do you start it was what you have here, see? engine select 1 and 2. So you go engine 1,
start the motor. Engine 2, start the motor.
and then when you want to stop them and you've done your day's shift,
red for stop.
Kill it.
Like my sound effects.
Kill it. Right? Red means stop. Right?
Driver's bell.
Ring the guard down the back. If you're down the back of the train.
See, I even set it without even seeing it. And there's marker lights.
Same bell's right here.
See, that's the museum
Right?
yard.
That's the same bell. Go ding, ding. And there's your sander 1 and 2. And that's front and rear of the motors. Trailer light red, trailer light white.
And that's just all your marker lights.
Trailer light left.
And then right up the top, you got your tachos, which is these things.
These two. Then you have your panel light, which turns these on.
See, that's your two tachos for your two motors.
Which is that one. Then you got your dim.
High beam and low beam.
See, so this is headlights. See, so you've got headlight off, headlight on, bright, dim.
Very simple.
Yeah, and then your two tachos there. And I used to run about 6.5, maybe 8 on the tachos. And if you actually want to see this running, it's the same one running over at Byron Bay on the solar powered train. And they've got one series of motors is diesel and a gearbox, and the other half is electric traction motors and solar powered batteries.
Right, now let's go over to that. That's the same model train that had a head-on. That's what happens when you have a head-on with another train. With a train I was just sitting in. That's where the driver would have been sitting. He's gone. Just sort of quickly show you that. Well, look at that. Look, isn't that carnage? Look, there's no bogey. Now, if you like things about trains, what's this one? New South Wales train, Byron Bay solar powered train, before it was converted to a Byron Bay to the solar powered train. This is when it still had the two diesel motors. See, 661 and 749. Right? And when you want to see the Byron Bay train, yes, Ian, I've been watching you. Look. And I'm going to Bathurst. What do you want to know about Bathurst? Ian, what do you want to know? All right, I'll tell you a couple of things straight off the top of my head. Bathurst was the home of Ben Chifley, a former Australian Prime Minister. And if you look on the map, outside of Bathurst, there is a town now called Chifley, right? And Ben Chifley was a Prime Minister here in Australia. He was a train driver, and the train he used to drive is now parked out front of Bathurst railway station. So if you get onto Google Earth, go onto Street View, you'll see the Ben Chifley steam engine sitting out front of the Bathurst railway station. Another Australian former Prime Minister who actually didn't come from riches. He was actually a poor train driver who managed to become the Australian Prime Minister, Ben Chifley. Now, when you look at a street map in Sydney, you'll see there's an area in Sydney City up towards circa the Quay, or we say Quay, and it's called Chifley Square. And then when you look down the southern what we call down near Maroubra, there's a suburb called Chifley. So they named a suburb after him. After they developed the area, they called it Chifley. So that's down towards a little tiny town called Little Bay and La Perouse. Now, La Perouse is where Captain Cook came in off with his ship, and he had a hole in the Endeavour, and he had to find timber to fix the hole in his boat because he hit the rocks. Well, where he goes is a little tiny beach called Little Kongwong, down to the eastern side of La Perouse. It's also known as a nudist beach. But there is a freshwater spring which is still running there today, and it is the only freshwater spring that runs into Botany Bay. Right? It is the only freshwater south of Sydney. Now, people say, all the convicts were sent out to Botany Bay. They weren't. They were sent to Sydney Harbour. Then they called the boats the Botany Bay, because Botany Bay had the penal colony down below at a later date. But originally, the convicts were first settled in the heart of Sydney, where all the city is. Then later on, they went back out through the headlands between Vaucluse and Manly, turn right, head south, and come into Botany Bay. They then used the fresh water. The only fresh water was at Little Kongwon Beach. And those convicts then stayed up there around as now what they call the golf club, the Australian Golf Club down there at La Perouse. You'll see there's a big golf club, and that's where the convicts were kept. And then when you look at La Perouse, you'll see there's a big castle on top of the hill in the middle of the park. That was for the guards to watch the convicts. Then also, when you look at La Perouse, you will see there is a building out in the water that goes out on a concrete ramp. That is the building. Now, I'm going to let you look it up. It was used in the Tom Cruise movie, right? Tom Cruise movie, right, of Mission Impossible. At the end of the movie, he comes down through a tunnel through a building and dropping hand grenades or dynamite, and then eventually he comes out the other side of Sydney, and then he's filmed up there at Manly Heads, up at the old quarantine station, up at Manly on the north side of Sydney Heads. So, yes, this old man does know his history of Sydney. I was a cab driver in Sydney for 17 years, and I was actually there when Tom Cruise filmed the story there down at La Perouse, and you can go down and have a look at it, right? I've actually got a YouTube video on it at La Perouse. So let's have a quick look down through everything I got. You can go down there yourself. It says Captain Cook. I think it's, look, there we go. Look, best value meal in Lithgow, right? Said here, been everywhere. Look, been everywhere, man. Been everywhere, man. Well, they're away, right? Zigzag Railway, very famous railway, right? Where are we? Now, this is something that's gone too, is that people don't realise this. The Emu Plains, there's a town for you, Benbullen, there's Kapiti, that's a railway station, all sorts of places. Now, I'm just going to find this. Now, Burke and Wills, they crossed the Blue Mountains from Emu Plains over to Lithgow to get out to Bathurst. Now, that's what I said in the story. Now, go and watch that one. It's only 11 minutes 59, right? Historical Burke and Wills treat, right, Blue Mountains Explorers, and they go across to the Bathurst Plains. And that's what I wrote to you in an email. So get in and have a look at that. Now, if you're wondering how big the Blue Mountains is, this is what Burke and Wills had to contend with to cross it. Right. So there you go. There we go. La Perouse, where Captain Cook landed at the site of Australian ad. Right? And then there's another one, Byron Bay, Captain Kirk and the Aurora people. See, some reason Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, and Captain Picard, and even Voyager mentions Botany Bay as a penal colony. Well, that's it there. That's the tower at La Perouse. Right? So and that is La Perouse, and that is Botany Bay, the ship in it. And that over there is Kurnell. That's on the other side of the harbour. Right? So, been there, mate. And been there everywhere, man. Been there everywhere, man. So, yeah. Now, here's the Emu Plain steam engine. Now, you think, oh, yeah, what's blah, 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 blah. Right. That Emu Plain steam engine is just down the road from here where I live, which is near Penrith in Sydney metropolitan area. But that Emu Plain steam engine is in my museum at Tenterfield in northern New South Wales, 800 kilometres away. I even managed to get that up there. So, and if you want to see the Sydney driverless train, there you go. There's no train driver, there's no guard, there's no nothing. It's a computer-controlled train. I don't like the bloody thing myself. Right, this is what the driverless train stations look like. There are no railway staff, right? Unisex toilets. And then you get down these big escalators. There's nobody there, yeah, right? This is the driverless train. We're going to get on. Now, just speed it up a bit. Now, how would you like to sit on a flight from Illinois all the way to Sydney and then sit on this ridiculous-looking Gladys Berejiklian train? Look at the seats. Tram. It's a tram. It's not a train, it's a tram. I still call it a tram. I hate the damn thing. Now, you can't work it out. There are glass doors there that's shut when the train doors there shut. Yeah, there's glass doors on the platform. You watch. Completely computer operated. If I end up going for a tram ride, that's it. Look, it's a tram. So if you want to see what it looks like looking at the front of a tram. See, look. This is the best one to catch if you want to look down at rails. See, there's no driver, there's no guard, there's nothing. It's all computer controlled. Never hear them. People just don't get it. Would you like to sit on this for an hour and a half? For an hour and a half. If you just flown halfway around the world, would you like to sit on that thing? So look, now there's the doors are shut there, look. These are the safety doors. This I agree with because I stopped running. Because the idea was, Gladys' idea was get rid of the railway staff, but protect the people. If they fell off the platform, they put in all these glass walls and sliding doors. That way then their public liability would go down. But the amount of money it costs to install them, it'd be cheaper to employ railway staff to be there in case of emergency. But the platforms are actually dead level, so a pram would not roll off the platform. And there's no one there to assist the wheelchair. See? There's the door there. See it? This man was something. See, there goes the driverless tram. Look. See, the doors are shut.